Hi, my name is Flo, and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about a meditation from my teacher, Joe Dispenza. This meditation is called Body Parts or Water Rising. First of all, I want to say that Joe Dispenza has been a God-sent gift in my life for the past 5 years. I have shifted core limiting beliefs. I got to learn more about myself. I changed career. I attracted wonderful relationships, increased my income significantly, and manifested dozens of amazing miracles thanks to this man and his work and his egoless dedication to help. I already had perfect health. I was blessed by that. So although most of his work is focused on helping people heal, the physical part, I have used this work in many other areas of my life. When I started with Joe Dispenza's work, a lot of people don't really know with which meditation to start. And nowadays, especially, there are several to buy on the website, and it's a little bit confusing. The meditation I'm going to talk about today is called Body Parts or Water Rising, and it goes hand in hand with Dr. Joe's book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. So it's one of the first meditation that he recorded. It's got way more talking and explanations than other meditations, but it's a fabulous meditation. After Dr. Joe had his accident at 24 years old, where he got ran over by an SUV and got paralyzed during a triathlon, he basically refused to get Harrington rod surgery that would have big rods in his spine. And he decided to talk and ask the power that created him to heal him. And so he decided, with his knowledge as a chiropractor, to rebuild his spine in his mind. And he spent several hours every day rebuilding his spine in his mind. He had made a contract with himself that if he were to stray from what he was doing, he would start from scratch at the beginning. So it would take him like hours at first, and then it got easier and easier. And he actually healed himself and was able to walk about. He then didn't really know what to do because he had this incredible experience, couldn't really relate to anybody complaining. And so he left San Diego where he was living, and he traveled the world and to find people who had healed themselves of incurable diseases and to find out why. And he found out that the common denominator was that those people had broken the habit of being themselves. Basically, they had changed in drastic ways and left the past behind, the old self behind. This meditation, Body Parts, Water Rising, is a fabulous meditation to notice repetitive thoughts that lead to repetitive state of emotions and being, and to stop going down the same thought spiral over and over, and to put more awareness there, and to then start creating a new self. In the long run, this meditation can be used to shift core limiting beliefs that rule our lives unconsciously. A few examples of those beliefs are: I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not safe, I'm not heard, I'm not seen, I don't matter, I cannot do it, I never get it, I don't belong. Those are basically all lies that we feed ourselves and that are derived from some kind of childhood experience. But they end up being lenses through which we see our experience, or we experience the world. And those belief systems can be very detrimental to our lives and basically to our health. All of this is, of course, explained masterfully by Dr. Joe in his book called The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, as well actually as in Becoming Supernatural and the other book, You Are the Placebo. So you really need to read these books before starting the meditations in order to know what you're getting into. Now I'm going to go over the meditation and explain a little bit why it's worked wonders for me. It's really helped me change part of my programming and has helped me manifest some amazing things in my life. Just want to let you know that the two meditations, body parts and water rising, are sold separately, although they are one and only meditation. The difference between both are in the induction. The induction, the word induction means like in hypnosis, when one wants to put someone in hypnosis, one does an induction to relax the conscious mind in order to access the subconscious mind. The body parts meditation's induction is about convergent and divergent focus. Basically, they have done a lot of studies that prove that when we focus on one point in the body and then on the space around that point is one of the fastest way to put the brain in alpha brain waves. That's the reason why Dr. Joe uses this type of induction and has people focus on a part of the body and then on the space around the part of the body. It can be a little bit tedious and it can discourage some people when they start with this meditation. The induction is pretty long, it's about 40 minutes, and some people get discouraged. So that's also why I'm doing this video, to explain, don't get discouraged. You can buy the water rising version of the meditation, and that one just has the visualization of having water rising in different parts of the body. It might be easier for you to handle. So you pick whichever induction you like and buy the meditation appropriately, and the rest of the content is the same. The induction, like I said, lasts about 40 minutes, and then at about 40 minutes, Dr. Joe starts talking. The first 20 minutes is going to, over and over, make us notice which limiting thoughts and emotional states we are having over and over every single day and how that affects our lives. He has us first tune into the power within us and begin to really figure out what we've been hiding from ourselves, which are emotions like anger and jealousy, etc., etc. And he has us turn and tune into a loving intelligence or an intelligent love, and admit to that intelligent love that we actually want to change. We have to have that real desire to want to change. Now I'm going to quote Dr. Joe, and he says, "Now it's time to turn to this power within you and introduce yourself to it and tell it what you want to change about yourself. Begin to admit to it how you've been, what you've been hiding, and just talk to it in your mind. Remember that this power is real. This universal mind within you already knows you. It does not judge you. It only loves. Can you say to it, universal consciousness within me and all around me, I admit to you who I have been, that I truly want to change from that limited state of being." End of quote. Then Dr. Joe asks us to decide to release our bodies from the familiar bonds from the past, to open our mouth and just blurt out the emotion that we want to release and give it over to source. So we're freeing our body from our mind, and we're liberating some energy, and we're releasing the body from familiar emotional bonds that keep us connected to everything and everyone in our past and our present reality. Then Dr. Joe asks us to surrender control to the universal mind that is listening to us and release this emotion. In this part of the meditation, Dr. Joe really points out that we don't want to go back to the old self. And in order to do that, we must be very familiar with this old self, how this old self thinks, feels, and behaves. He wants the old self to never, ever go unnoticed, basically, and to have awareness about our thoughts and our emotion, which is really the key to change. And then we have to make an unforgettable decision to never be this old self again. Then Dr. Joe introduces us to the game named the change game. It's really a game changer, no pun intended. Every time we have the same repetitive thoughts and repetitive emotion, we just say change, change, and change. Keep doing it and doing it. And then refocusing the energy and shifting the energy to what we want to create. So instead of being bound to the past, we shift to what we want to create. And these are the last 20 minutes of the video. And I often only do the last 20 minutes of the video when I don't have time to do the entire thing, because it focuses on creating a new self. It's a very easy and spacious way for manifesting new things in life. For example, you want to really shift your core limiting beliefs. Your old self feels unworthy, not good enough, which leads to thoughts and feelings of unworthiness and sadness and anger and blame. And your new self that you want to create is a worthy person who walks through life with confidence, chest high, succeeds, is happy, loves themselves. So really, Dr. Joe asks us, well, how would that feel to create this confident, beautiful, worthy self in your mind? So we go over that quite a bit in that part of the meditation, is creating the new self over and over again on demand. Another example that, for example, I've been using for several months myself is shifting the feeling of being needy to a feeling of being magnetic. And the embodiment, thoughts, and feeling linked to those two states are very distinct. And I could really feel the difference after a couple of weeks, and things started coming to me instead of me having to go after them. So that's just an example of how you can change your state of being or change one thing in your life that you want to work on. So you're changing your energy and you're reminding yourself what you want to say to yourself, how you want to walk and breathe and move as that new self. And from that place of being empowered and loving and with an elevated state of emotion, it's a wonderful time to create and manifest the desired experience in our life. So this part of the meditation is a great way to focus our attention on creating our day, on creating something new. The key is to stay in the feeling of gratefulness ahead of the experience. Gratefulness before we even have the experience puts us in this elevated state of emotion. It's also a great way of shifting from crappy thoughts to elevated state of emotion that helps us secrete the right hormones for us to signal the genes that are going to create the protein that are going to help us heal. So if you're having any kind of health condition, this video is really, really good also. The meditation ends as we are instructed by Dr. Joe to ask divine intelligence to give us a sign in our life that there has been a two-way communication between us and source. I have asked for many signs and I've received a lot of them. They are usually subtle or not, and often only understandable by you, but they're really fun to notice. My personal experience with this meditation is that it's an extremely powerful meditation. It's like the basics of the work of Dr. Joe, and one should start the work with this meditation. I've done it many, many times with great results. It really helps with noticing our daily mind grind of limiting thoughts tied to the past, and how that puts us in a certain mental and emotional states. The change game really is a game changer, as it helps stop the mental thought race and diverts the flow towards something that is working and that is positive for us. Then the last part of the meditation is the one I use the most, because it's such a great way to have a spacious container to imagine what we want to manifest. Dr. Joe guides us so nicely, and like I said, I've manifested a lot of things thanks to these to this meditation, right? So I thank you so much for watching. If you want to know about more videos about health and consciousness, please subscribe to my channel and pass this video on to people who have health conditions, who want to change in their life and want to start with Joe Dispenza's work.